Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Vintage Story. So today we're going to be picking back up where we left off. I didn't want to take off without you guys because we have some big things that we have to do today or start working towards today. I'd like to start working towards actually processing metals. Also today I think is going to mark the day that we actually start getting, it says monsters begin to appear. So there are monsters. Let's go ahead and sleep and get through as much of the night as possible. I may actually have to cut and just wait for daylight. We'll see. We shall see. Let me go ahead and grab our knife. I saw something move over there. Ah, I see something. Yeah, something's moving around back there, and I almost wonder if it's not a drifter. Yeah, that looks like a drifter. It's kind of swinging its arms, which is kind of how a drifter moves. So, which I'm kind of worried that something's gonna like drop down on me. I don't know, it kind of scares me to go out there. But I think the sun is starting to come up. So I'll tell you what, we're gonna wait. I'm gonna need. Okay, I've got an axe. Okay, I've got an axe. I've got a spear. I got a knife. I wouldn't mind making some additional spears, but I think we'll be all right. I need to get out of here. I hear a drifter. I do. That like sound. That's a drifter. Aha! There's one. He's coming. He's coming. Okay. I wonder if I want to fight him in the water. Is that what I want to do? These guys will they'll do a decent amount of damage. But I know in my come back here. Come back here. There we go. I know whenever I was like in my test world, I went down in a cave and I ran into a bunch of them. So I don't know, like I haven't been caving enough to say like for sure they're always going to jump you in a pack, but I know when I encountered them, it was a pack of them. So just a heads up on that. Be careful. They do spawn underground now that the monsters are able to spawn. They do spawn down in the caves all the time. They'll mainly spawn at night, like in the world. I don't think we're going to run into them too often when we're out during the day, but I mean they can still spawn underground and I guess come up out of the ground, you know, but I don't think we should have too much problem with them during the day. But of course we're still going to have wolves and boars and everything else that can kill us within the game. So cranberry bushes, I will take them in hopes, especially in hopes of yeah, that's what I want. I want to find some actual ripe cranberries to eat because I need health. Okay, anyways, we are headed to go get some wood. That's one of the first things that I want to go for right now is just wood, because we're going to need it for processing metals. It's one of the things that we're going to need to process metals. We actually need a few things today, none of which I actually have at the moment. All right, so we're just going to gather up some of these maple tree logs. Oh, and I think I see clay right over there in front of us, which is awesome because that's one of the other things that we're going to need. And then we also need to find metal. We need everything at the moment. Yeah, blue clay in soil. Now, actually, I would benefit from getting a shovel right now. And there's our flint shovel. Awesome. Okay, so this clay right here. Let me get a little bit more of this wood, actually. Just like one more tree. And I think we should be good. I mean, I could get more, and it wouldn't hurt to get more. I may try to get more. But of course, I want to be back in our mud hut by the time it turns dark. And I do have to run a little ways. I don't feel safe currently being out at night. Oh, I hear a wolf. And it sounds like he's right over there. Okay, we need to gather up a bunch of this blue clay. Okay, I see a wolf right over there. Maybe that's the one I'm hearing, but I could have swore it sounds like it's behind me. It's so, like, scary to go out and get resources on here because, like, everything wants to kill you, except for chickens. Chickens are, like, the only thing that aren't out to get you, it feels like. Okay, I have broken the shovel. And we are up to a stack and 49 blue clay. And I know where this is at. I mean, this is pretty easy to find. So I can always come back to here. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and cut down a couple more of these trees. I mean, we've got 11 wood. I'm going to go ahead and grab those. And here's little bits of quartz. We'll go ahead and grab these. Well, actually, I'm going to leave those there. They'll be useful later on if we leave them right there. Now we need to find copper rocks as well. Which, honestly, that could be the biggest challenge. As far as things that we need to find for today, that could be the biggest challenge. But I've got to make some charcoal, and charcoal is going to take a little while. I mean, it takes about a day-ish. I think it's like 18 hours, if I recall, just from reading the wiki, I think. It does take a little while to craft that, so we're going to have plenty of time to go out and look for copper if we don't find any today. Because whenever I get back to the base, I'm going to set that. I don't know if I just want to head back now, so I can go ahead and start it. Honestly, I don't know how much luck we're going to have here finding ore samples, to be perfectly honest. But oh, there we go. Native copper ore bits. I am going to... There's mature soybeans. Let's take those too. So we got ourselves a little bit of soybeans. Yeah, there's some more native copper. Turnips. I'm going to... I'm going to put a couple blocks like that. And we'll just have to keep it in mind that this is copper. And if we take a look at our map, we are right here near this like little water pool. Okay, but I'm still going to need more copper than this. This isn't going to be enough to do a whole lot with. Just 2 pieces. But I can't mine right now, so I can't get... You know, I can't go mining for copper at the moment. So I'm going to have to... Oh, is this more clay? Fire clay. Haha. I like it. I like it. I was hoping there would be good amounts of clay around this water. And it does seem like that's the case. Oh, more copper. More copper. Okay, let me grab a little bit more of this dirt. And I'm going to go ahead and mark this. There we go. Okay, so we got like 4 pieces. We're still going to need more. That's still not enough. We're gonna keep looking around. But it seems like, I mean, copper... I know whenever in my single-player world, whenever I was first testing around with it, I found copper pretty regularly. Now, of course, that all comes down to luck. So, you know, we may have an issue finding the rest of it. But so far, it doesn't seem too bad here. And my health is, like, taken care of again. We got lots of stones and stuff. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to make a fire pit. I do. So what we're going to do is, this is actually, well, the only thing is, I'm not going to have this much firewood. What we're going to do is we're going to take our axe and we're going to take our maple logs. And we're going to cut these down into firewood. And, okay, my axe broke. Let me, oh, it's going to turn dark on me. I don't have a whole lot of firewood here. I'm thinking I'm going to have to wait until tomorrow to do the fire pit. Though technically, I guess I could put it inside the house here. Let's do that. Yeah, we'll do that. I don't know if it's going to burn down my bed, though. That's the only thing. What do we have down here? Stone. Actually, I think we could make this work. I think. Okay, let me go ahead and make another axe. There we go. I hear lurkers outside. They're like, it's nighttime, let's go find him. And let's get ourselves a little bit more firewood. Okay, so we've got 32 and 24. Okay, so what we're going to do, I think this will work with the quartz on the bottom. I don't know. I've only ever done it with the dirt. But, let me see. I looked up on the wiki here just in case, because I haven't done this a whole lot of times. And it says non-combustible. That's covering it with non-combustible blocks. And it doesn't say anything about it having to be dirt. So I think this would be okay if we used quartz. So what we're going to do is we're just going to place out firewood here. And let me grab the rest of that. And, whoops. you want it to be flat like that. And then we're going to come out next to it here. And we're going to place that a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and just place, well, I can't place all of it. Yeah, because I'm going to need a few pieces to start the fire. Yeah, I'm just going to place that much, is what I'm going to do. And then what we can do, this one doesn't have to be solid. And we're just going to take, whoops. There you go. We're going to take and place our dirt block on top of it. Shift and right click to place it. And then, let's see. We basically just have to cover the top of this. I'm going to go ahead and put dirt around it like that, just to be on the safe side. And then what we're going to do is... Now, if this fails, it's just going to burn up all my firewood. But I'm hoping that it doesn't fail. It should be all right with the stone there. And then we're going to take and put down our wheat or our grass to make a fire pit. Then our firewood. And we need to get ready because we only have about 15 seconds. That's what the wiki said. And there we go. Okay, and then we have to take this and place it on top. And this should start burning that firewood. But like I said, it's going to take about 18 hours for this to burn through. And while we're waiting, let's go ahead and grab ourselves a little bit of this grass. And I'm hoping I did everything. It's smoking. So I do believe that it is working. I've only ever done this once, so, and then I saw like it in a video, and that's about it. Let's put down our dry grass, and let's put down some firewood here, and I want to get some of our meat cooking for starters. So let's go ahead, we'll just dump that into there, and I don't have any other firewood. Okay, I should have gotten more wood. That's okay. We're going to get that cooking and just cook as much as we can right now. And then we're going to make a couple molds. So what we're going to do is shift right click and it opens up our clay molding menu. And you can see we've got anvil, axe, bowl. That's 4 times. Oh, I think it's a stacked recipe though. Crucible and then 4 crucibles. We got flower pots, hammer mold, hoe, ingots, pickaxe, planter, prospecting pick tool, which we're going to get into, shovel, and sword. And the ones I want to make to start with, I want to make, first off I want to make the crucible. And I guess, do we want to go ahead and do 4? Yeah, let's do 4, because we're going to need a few of these. And so what we do here, this is a little bit different. We're going to left click, to remove these little orange spots. Like that. And then these spots over here, we are going to right click. We're just going to hold right click to do. And there's actually a little menu here you can pull up. Hit F and you can do different things like that's single bit, that's 2x2, that's 3x3. We're going to set it to 2x2. And then what I can do is do like that. And it makes it a little bit quicker to place all this out. There we go. Okay, and now we need to build it up again. I keep wanting to hold it and not... you're supposed to just press it and I keep holding it. And you can see, actually, one thing they do mention on the wiki, I remember, if you sit down it makes it a little bit easier to do this. Though standing's really not all that bad. Yeah, I actually think I have, at least with these, because I'm doing 4 at a time, I'm having a little bit better luck with standing, but to each their own. But just bear in mind that you can sit down while you do this. It does take a little bit of time because I mean you're actually like building the little structure out of clay. Because like it keeps going up and up and up and up. I want to say I did this once, and I want to say that this is the last layer. I think it's 3, and then you work on the top. Or this is the last of like just doing this little square shape. And this is what, like, now that we're actually getting settled, this is like what night's for, I think. Like, daytime, go out and get your resources. Nighttime, sit around the fire and make stuff. Oh, I got another one. Okay. Okay, and now we put the tops on. Like that. Leave the center hollow. And you can see my clay is slowly going down. I think whenever we first started doing, like crafting these, we had like 46, and now I'm down to, or 47, now I'm down to 36. So it does slowly consume clay as you do that stuff. Okay, so we have our 4 raw crucibles. And for right now, I'm just going to put, most of these I'm going to put away for right now. We'll just put them into there. And then I want to do another, because I'm sure it's still nighttime outside, because I didn't sleep. Yeah. So I'm going to do another, let me actually eat this bread. We're going to do, oh, and this is done. So 5 pieces of meat, that'll be good. Because this is good saturation. I'll cook some more like tomorrow. I'll try to get some more wood. But yeah, that's definitely working, because you can see it's emitting smoke particles. And quite a bit of them. So it is working right now. We're going to make some more molds though. Or we're gonna actually make molds. I want to make some bowls for starters. I'm going to do 4 of these. And these look like, you know, whenever you start these, they look like they're going to be about the same as the crucible, but they're not nearly as big. They're a bit smaller. But these are actually really important that we get these done. We need to get them smelted too, but we'll do that tomorrow night, because this torch doesn't really have all that much longer left. And I could make more torches. If you take sticks and you put them into fire pits, you can make torches that way. But with this, we can actually make something even better. So that's what I'm aiming for. Oh, and the sun's starting to come up. That's great. We still need to make some molds, but I'm going to probably wait till tomorrow night to make the molds. Because, like, I don't even have the copper right now to actually, you know, melt down or anything. So, and I need firewood and stuff like that. Okay, so there's 4 bowls. And right now I'm going to put these away into here. Okay, and we did get a sapling, which I wouldn't mind planting. I'm going to put this soybean away. I don't know of anything I can use that for, so maybe I'll leave it in here for, like, you know, in case I need it, sort of a thing. And for right now, I'll put the crucible away, so I have a little bit more inventory space. And then I'm going to plant all these plants today before we go out. And let me get the axe on my bars. Well, I think that I'm going to plant. But I also hear lurkers outside, so I don't know. Are you not going to come out here? Well, let's sprint. Alright. These guys are pretty easy one-on-one like this. It's just when they get a jump on you and there's a bunch of them, that's when they're bad. So, okay, so our white currants. Oh, there's a locust. That's another type of creature. And these guys will normally swarm you. I ran into them once underground, and they were pretty nasty. They don't do a ton of damage, and they're not super strong, as you can tell. I need to make another spear. But maybe I'm going to chance it and wait till tonight. Because I don't want to spend my whole day, because I've got to plant these things. But the locusts will normally, they'll jump you in like a pack. Like a little horde. And that's when they're nasty. Okay. Everything is in place. So let's head out. We need to find copper. A bit more copper. And we need to find basically as much copper chunks as we can possibly find. And then we also need to find, or not really need to find, but we need to get some wood. And the bamboo in this game is really pretty. I do quite like it. So that's what I'll go over here so you guys can see it. But that's what the bamboo looks like. Which we'll mess with that later. Right now I'm going to leave it alone. Ooh, look at this tree. Here we go. I'm actually getting into a place that's not, it's going to take all day to break this thing probably, but I'm actually getting to a place that's not like those little bitty trees. Which is good. And we're just about there. Timber. Timber. Lots of timber. Right now we have 4 maple. Well, this is oak, so we'll be able to see how much we get. Oh. Okay, I cut down as much as I could, but you could see my axe broke trying to cut that down. It was so big. So it looks like I only managed to cut 6 pieces off of it. There's still some up there. Okay. I knew that seemed like it was a little bit low, but... Oh yeah, most of it is up here. Oh. Well, I got some of it. There's 10. Honestly, I think this will be enough wood for us. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Oh, there's still more down there. There's 13. And these branchy leaves you can stand on, just not just the leaves. Okay, so we got 15 and then 19 altogether. I think that'll be good. Now I just need to find the copper. Oh, something died up here. Oh, come on. Oh, okay. I thought I didn't pick up the fat. We got a piece of leather, we got 2 pieces of fat, and then we got some meat as well. 5 pieces of meat, in fact. I'm honestly thinking it was maybe a wolf or a boar that died right there. Had to be something like pretty decent size for that amount of fat and meat. Aha! Copper. And a decent amount of copper, actually. So, we'll put down our rocks, or in our dirt, just to mark this spot, and then we'll grab that. And cranberries. Rams. And it's actually funny, because I haven't actually fought rams myself, but I have seen them on Ashantin's videos. And they, like, actually ram. Like, they would, like, get away from her, and then they'd, like, come running back and, like, try to ram her. It's really... I love the fact that all... Like, it seems like all the creatures within this game have their own UI. Like, you know, I mean... not UI. AI. So, they all, like, operate differently, you know, and it's not just, like... all of the creatures just run at you and just try to beat you to death. You know, they all like, certain ones will run away. Certain ones don't really seem to run away. And it's not 100% of the time either. Like, I've seen wolves run away. But they don't always run away. Hyenas will generally, they'll run away. Whenever they, you know, think that you're going to stand up to them, they'll try to run away. But wolves are generally a little bit more vicious. And then you have, like, those lurkers will sometimes run away, but not always. There's quartz ore bits. But I'm really looking for just more copper. Okay, here's some copper. Which this one's going to be kind of tough to mark, I think. Let's do that. That looks really out of place, right? There we go. I've got 10. And I can't remember if we have any at the house or if I brought it all with me. If I only have exactly 10, I might want a few more pieces. Maybe. Oh, this is all like swampy. I need to start heading back though. It is getting dark. And I really don't need to be messing about in the night with lurkers. With a spear that's about to break and a club. This is all medium fertility soil. Nice. That is good. I see a chicken. Oh, I don't know why I keep wanting to... You swim faster if you just go underwater, but I always want to bob. Like, and it's a habit because I'm too used to playing Minecraft, and Minecraft doesn't have very good swimming mechanics. So I just want to bob at the top of the water, and I don't need to be doing that. Okay, let's head on back. That mountain is, like, hard to miss, and, like, our base is really easy to find because it's just far side of the mountain there. Inside that little cave area, cave-ish area. All right, yeah, we're gonna get home at a good time, I think. And there's more clay right here, blue clay. Awesome. I was hoping. I'm kind of chancing it right now because it's starting to get light. The sun's starting to go down, and I don't have a torch. Hey, there's some copper. Oh, but you know what? I don't have any soil. I'm going to get caught out in the dark a little bit here. Okay, we'll put that there. We still have those ruins we need to go explore. Some point. We will explore them soon. It's just like a maze of berries when you step through there. Just berries everywhere. Okay, there we go. Okay, so what we need to do, first up, I need to make an axe. First and foremost. Okay, there is our axe head, and I think our charcoal is done. I do believe. And then we're going to take our axe head. We're going to get some more firewood and more firewood. There we go. There's a decent amount of it. And most of this I'm just going to put, like, right back here. I'm Just pile it up. I'm just going to keep that like half stack or whatever on me. Okay. And let's go ahead and our fire pits. Okay, I've got some inventory space. Let's go ahead and grab our bowls. Let's do these first, I think. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take and put our firewood in here. Get that going. And let's get our bowls in here. And we're going to start smelting these in our fire pit. And do I want to pull this up? I'm nervous. Mainly because I'm pretty sure it worked, but it still makes me nervous. There we go. Yep, 7 layers of charcoal. Isn't that beautiful? Let's go ahead and pull all this stuff up. I hear lurkers outside already. Still makes me nervous, because on here, like, you just lose all your wood. Now this right here. Okay, yeah. Not really sure. I think you can just mine it with your hands, actually. There's charcoal. I'm pretty sure, yeah, you can just mine it with your hands. But it seems like the axe is a little bit faster, so. That's what I used in my single player, was I used the axe. Alright, so we have 10 pieces of charcoal, and I think that should be good for now. The reason you need charcoal, the reason you can't use, oh wow, that's already, okay. You have to get it so hot, and, yeah, he is literally right outside of there. I see his hand coming through there every so often. You have to get it so hot, and charcoal will not get it hot enough. Not this, but whenever we start melting the metal. Well, actually, this takes a baking temperature of 600 degrees. I don't know if our firewood's going to get that hot or not. Yeah, burn temperature of 700 degrees. Right there. But see, copper needs 1084 degrees. And charcoal has a burn temperature of 1300 degrees. So what we're probably going to do is use our wood, heat it up to about, whatever, 700-ish, and then we'll put charcoal in to heat it up the back end of it. But we can't just yet. We have to do a couple other things here. Okay, so we're up to 600 degrees. Let's go ahead and add a little bit more of this, because I do have a little bit of smelting to do right now. And actually, you know what? I should have... Oh, I forgot to make my molds. So, GG me. I might be able to make them right now real quick. Let me add a bit more firewood to this. And let's grab our clay. And what I want to do is I want to make... let's see, I want to make a pickaxe tool. This is like probably the most important. And let me actually set this to a 3x3. There we go. It'll be a little bit quicker to do it this way. And we can just do this. I can just clean up the clay that I put in the wrong spots. And there we go. There is our pickaxe tool mold. And then let's go ahead and pull this up. And how's this coming along? We have our first bowl. It's taking a little while to cook this, but I do want those bowls, so I don't mind throwing a bunch of firewood at it. Plus, honestly, it kind of gives me time to work on this other stuff that I want to do, because I want to get these molds made. And then what we're going to do is, let's do another mold, and we're going to do a sword mold. And once again, we're going to set it to a 3, and we're just going to go ahead and place this first layer out. It's just quicker if you go ahead and change it over. And time is survival on this game. It really, really is. And this is steadily cooking. I think these molds are like 600 degrees. They are. And the crucible is also 600 degrees. Okay. I want to make sure this temperature stays up as we're doing this. I may actually pull the bowls out in a minute because it does take a little while to cook them. I'm going to pull out one of them, in fact. Seems like it speeds up whenever I did that. Actually, it says its temperature is 700 degrees at the moment. I pulled it out and it was still hot. Okay, so that's done. Let's pull that out and let's toss in like our pickaxe tool mold. We'll throw that in next. Let's keep that temperature up. We're going to use the charcoal in just a second. But okay, so while that's cooking, while that's heating up our mold, what we're going to do is, I guess I'm going to toss these in here. I can wait. I might use one more. But our lumps of fat, let's go ahead and get 2 more of these. And what we can do is we can take our bowls. There's other things that you can do with bowls, but we're going to take our bowls, put lumps of fat in them, and we can make oil lamps. And these are infinite light sources. Now, they're not all that bright, but they are infinite light sources, which is great. And I love the fact if you just hold something in your hands in this, it does emit light even when you're holding it. Because it only makes sense that it does that. Alright, so yeah, see our torch just burned out. It's an extinct torch. So what we can do is we can place this down and we'll, I don't know, we'll toss one down right, let's see, we'll put one there. And then whenever the sun comes up, I'll go outside and I'll put down another. Okay, so there's our pickaxe mold. Let's toss in our sword mold. And our pickaxe mold, we're going to go ahead and just put this down, like, right there. So it's fired, it's ready to go. I didn't realize you could do that. That is awesome. Okay, so this is really, really neat. So if you open up your basket, right? I've got my basket open. It's this one right here. I can click on this basket with a right click, and look at that. Isn't that awesome? So you can sort through all your stuff, like right here. It's really cool. I didn't realize you could do that. Okay, I tell you what. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this stuff up. I think the sun is probably up right now. I think it's been long enough. They're trying to run away. Okay, I'm going to take our oil lamps. I'm just going to place these out. No, you don't. You can see they don't really do that much damage. I mean, I can beat them back. I mean, wolves, I think, are a little bit more dangerous. But we'll put our oil lamps so it's kind of somewhat lit up. Oh my gosh, there's lurkers all over the place. They're like, hey, he's trying to smelt stuff. Let's go over there. Okay, let's go see if we can find ourselves another piece of copper. I wouldn't mind a few pieces, but... So I'm going to run around and see if I can find some copper, and I will be back here in a bit. Okay, I went out and gathered up a little bit more, a little bit more metals and stuff. And I tell you what we're going to do. Let's take... Oh, before we do this, yeah, I've got clay right here. Let's go ahead and make one more mold, actually. Ooh, a hoe might be good too. Yeah, let's make 2 more molds. Just, I keep doing that. Let me make a hoe and an axe mold, I think. Okay, and I went ahead and made a hammer mold as well. Because I was looking and you only need 100 units of metal for these. So it's actually not as expensive as I was thinking. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and throw in a bit of our charcoal. Let's go ahead and throw in all of it. And let me grab the crucible. Let's toss in our molds. We need to get these done first. And they don't take too long to do. But the nice thing is, after this stage of stuff, we'll be in what's classified as the Copper Age, and we will be able to actually go into, like, underground and mine things, which will be great. I'm almost thinking I don't have enough charcoal here to pull all this off. I don't know. Well, we'll see. I mean, the hammer I can wait on. The hammer I don't need until we start smithing, which I would like to start smithing soon because I want a saw. I really, really want a saw so we can start making planks. But this stuff should smelt pretty quick because this is starting to get really hot down here. So I'm thinking it may go pretty quick. I definitely want the hoe and the axe. The hammer I can live without if need be. So there is our hoe mold. Yeah, I think if I try to smelt the hammer, if I try to cook the hammer mold, I think might be cutting it a little bit close. If I do that. I mean, the only thing is they are cooking pretty quick. But I'm just worried that it's going to cut it close. I don't know. I mean, I've already got the temperature up. I would like to cook some meat too, but I've got enough. I've got a horde of berries at the moment on me. Yeah, let's try for the hammer as well. Let's do that. I think we've got enough. And then I'm probably, let's see, that should be about 20 pieces of copper. And I've actually got enough leather on me while we're waiting for this to cook up. let's go ahead and get ourselves another backpack. And we'll just switch it with that. There we go. Okay, so we're up to 3 backpacks now. I actually found the leather. I actually just found. I'm getting kind of worried if this is gonna, if this will be able to heat up and smelt in time. But it will have to cool down as well. As long as it stays above 1,000 degrees, it'll be able to melt it. So I think we'll be okay to do this. What we're going to do is we're going to put our crucible into the left slot there. And we're going to put, it's going to open up 4 little slots here. And we're going to put our copper in there. And it says it will create 500 units of copper. Now you can also use this for alloying, which we'll get into later. That's why we have 4 slots. I mean, I doubt you're going to be smelting up. I mean, I guess if you're making tools for an army. But it's doubtful that you're going to be melting up just like 4 stacks of copper. But anyways, it's going to create 500 units. It's 25 units per copper chunk. And that's great. So we're going to put our molds out like that. We'll make a nice little place for us to do metalworking before too long. That's one of the early things that I would like to build is like a tool forge, you know. And chances are we'll probably have a lot of molds laid out so I can make like multiple picks at a time, multiple, you know, swords at a time. You know, multiple everything at a time. So that way if I'm smithing, I'm smithing, you know, and I'm smithing legit. So but anyways, basically we're just waiting for this metal to melt up. And it does take a little while. We're waiting for this bar to fill up. It's about halfway. We should be good on charcoal, yeah. I think 10 pieces was enough, but that was cutting it close. I should have made more. I know some people don't like the charcoal making. I actually really like it. I mean, that's how it was in Terra Firma Craft. That never bothered me. I like the charcoal making on there, and also forestry. And you know, I'm talking about Minecraft right now, of course, but forestry and Terra Firma Craft both did it that way. I like it. It makes sense. I mean, that's it doesn't really take that long either, because you can just kind of go out for a day, like, and do something. I mean, I've always got something to do on here, so I just went out for a day, came back, and it was done, you know, which didn't bother me too much. Once we get an actual, like, forge up and going, I'll probably just have a fire pit, like a big one, and we'll just fill it and make, like, mass amounts of charcoal, because it doesn't matter how much wood you have in there, it's still just going to take the same amount of time for it to do that. So, we are on our last piece of charcoal, and it just finished. I probably could have saved that last piece of charcoal. Okay, so the crucible, it says it contains molten metal, and this thing is hot. And so what we're going to do is we are going to come over and we're just going to hold right-click, and we're going to pour our molds, pour our metal into our molds. So, and you can see right now I'm down to 300 units of copper. We made 500 units. So it's only taking like 100 units per mold. Now I've still got 100 units of copper. There we go. And now we have a fired crucible back. And we'll just put this into there. And that's that. Now what we need to do is we need to wait for this to cool off. Now copper cools, I believe, if I recall the wiki said the copper cools around 200 degrees Celsius. Whenever I did it before, I kind of went off and I did something and I came back and it was cooled. But it cools, I want to say it's around 200 degrees is when it cools. So, and it is nighttime and spooky. By the way, the fertility on your soil, it dictates how fast crops grow. So you do want higher fertility. Low is pretty bad, but you do want higher fertility. I actually kind of like watching this. Like, you sit down and watch it. It's really, really pretty. Like, it's like that, just that molten metal. I don't know. It looks really good. That's one thing. I love the graphics. I love the graphics on this game, and I love the lighting and just the colors and everything. Look at that. You can tell it's really starting to turn into copper because it's kind of taking on that reddish tint, as opposed to this like really molten looking metal here. So it's really taking on that like reddish copper color. I could have put that meat in there and smelted it for the back end of that, because it probably would have cooked decently fast with charcoal in there, I'm assuming. Oh well, that's okay. That's okay. I believe, if I recall, the hotter your fuels are, like charcoals and coals and stuff like that, are better for cooking pretty much anything. It's faster once it heats up for it to cook, if I recall. So, Oh, now it's really turning like a reddish tint. I kind of hate the fact that I didn't sit and watch it when I first made it. You know, because I mean, it's really cool to watch. Like, it's just a slow, gradual, and it kind of looks like it's cooling, right? Because before I was just like, okay, well, that'll be done in a little while. I'm going to come back. And I went off, and I don't know, I was killing something, or mining, or collecting ore. I don't know what I was doing. Maybe chopping wood? Who knows? Oh, man, now it's like, yeah, it's really... See, it's kind of... It's kind of lost that molten metal look, and you can tell it's cooling down right there. Oh, that's neat to watch. That's neat to watch. I don't think I'll get tired of it. I think that's something like I'll keep looking and watching every time I make metals. Okay, so this is down to 195 degrees, so we can pull this out. 186 degrees Celsius. And we got our copper pickaxe head. Woo! And then we can take it, put it with a stick, and look at that copper pickaxe. You can see mining speed, stone 4 times, ore 4 times, metal 4 times. It's a tier 2 tool. You can see the damage on it, and it breaks rocks with ease. And then sword mold. I should have made a knife too. Or wait, I think I can't remember if knife is. I think knife is smithing actually. Now that I think about it, yeah, that's knife is smithing. So we're gonna have to get into the anvil first. That's fine. We'll get into that before too long, I promise. Okay, and we got our sword blade, and this is gonna be a really nice upgrade. It has a 2.5 meter attack range, 2.5 damage HP damage, and mining speed wood 2.2 times, leaves 1.6 times. And you can see that the spear is only 1.3 HP damage. The spear is still a little bit more of a range, but you can make a copper spear. You just have to get into smithing, and we will do that. So let's go ahead and move these things around a little bit. Then we also have the axe, the hammer, the hoe. We'll go ahead and grab these because everything is cooled off now. So the new axe that we've got, mining speed, wood 5 times, plants 2.8 times, leaves 2.4 times. Very, very nice. And the durability, okay, the durability, like on the spear, 32. The sword, 300. You know, it's a big jump. And durability on the axe is 30 compared to 250. So, and then we also got our hoe, which, of course, we have not gotten into farming yet. We now can, and we will be getting into farming. And then lastly, we have our hammer. There we go, our copper hammer. And this is just used for smithing. So, it's not for combat or breaking blocks or anything like that. So, alright. So we are now in the Copper Age, and we have copper tools. Look at that sword and the axe and our hoe, or our axe and our pickaxe. It's a little bit dark in here. I do apologize, but it's the best I can do. I have to live under the ground here. But now that we have a pick, we can actually start mining stone. Like this granite rock, like look at this. I can finally break it. I can just smash this stuff. Which also means, like these rocks, I can place and do my my knapping that way, instead of having to go out and gather those little rocks. Which is, of course, very, very nice. So, anyways, I am going to end out this episode here, because I know it's probably past wrapping up point. Just judging by how much footage I have at the moment. So, next episode, we'll continue on, with Vintage Story. I don't know if we'll get into smithing or not, or if we're going to get into farming. Probably farming, and actually probably do a bit of mining and stuff like that. And then probably in the next, couple episodes after that, we'll get into smithing. Because I do want to get the saw so that I can start making things out of wood, like fences, doors, stuff like that. which would really be awesome. So, and we will get some better light sources before too long, but we have to get into bees before we can get some better light sources than these little oil lamps. So, hey, it's daytime. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I really like the smithing on here. It's not, if you played Terraformer Craft, it was really confusing, and it was really annoying trying to get the stuff done in time before the metal cooled and stuff. It's not like that on here. It's the same general principle, but it's not just annoyingly difficult. You know, you don't want to set your crucible down and just let it cool and not dump it. But as long as your stuff's ready, it's not a problem to make what you need to make. So, but we still have some other features to get into, like alloying and smithing, and we'll get into those before too long. And also processing other types of metal and stuff. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys next time. And this has been Vintage Story.